Hello friends, welcome to CEC Gurukul Live Lectures. This is a session on career counseling called Pratibha Samvardhan, and today we are discussing on career in data science. So we have discovered in the previous session of ours where we discussed who data scientists are, what data science is, and how data scientists work. Now, what other skills are required and how you can gear up yourself if you are really looking forward for this particular field. So we would like to inform you once again that we have with us in our studios Dr. Vishwas Kukreti, who is explaining us in detail that how interesting this profession is. Welcome once again to our studios and welcome to the session. We are discussing more and more about data science and data scientists. Now, if we talk about data science in a layman's language, किसी अगर आम जनमानस को तक हमें बात पहुंचानी है कि डेटा साइंस भी एक करियर है, उन स्टूडेंट्स तक पहुंचानी है जो अलग अलग क्षेत्रों में है, देश के अलग अलग राज्यों में है, अलग अलग गाँव में है, कस्बों में है, और उन्हें डेटा साइंस से जोड़ना है, तो उन्हें सरल भाषा में किस तरह से समझाया जाएगा?
जी, तो मैं एक उदाहरण से शुरू करता हूँ. आप सब लोग 10 मिनट डिलीवरी प्लेटफॉर्म वाले आप यूज़ करते होंगे, जो आप प्रोडक्ट ऑर्डर करते हैं, बट आप जैसे ही एक प्रोडक्ट को आप ऐड करेंगे, आप देखेंगे उसके नीचे लिखा हुआ आ जाएगा क्या आपको इस चीज़ की आवश्यकता भी है. जैसे अगर जो आप दाल खरीदें तो साथ में आ जाएगा कि आपको चावल की आवश्यकता है. आप अगर जो चाय पत्ती खरीदते हैं तो वो कहेगा आप चीनी ले लेंगे तो आपको 10 रुपये की छूट मिलेगी. साथ ही साथ आपके जो ई-कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म है जहाँ आप अन्य वस्तुएँ खरीद सकते हैं, आप कोई एक चीज़ खरीदते हैं तो पूछ सकता है कि आपको इस वस्तु की भी आवश्यकता है. आपके जो फाइनेंशियल ऐप्स हैं वो आपको बता देंगे कि आपका इस महीने का खर्च इतना हो चुका है और इसकी वजह से आपके जो बजट पे कुछ इफ़ेक्ट पड़ने वाला है. तो ये सारे जो काम हैं जो आपका डेटा देख के एनालिसिस करके आपको एक इंसाइट देते हैं, एक विजडम देते हैं, ये सारे काम एक डेटा साइंटिस्ट के एम्बिट के अंदर आते हैं. तो ये इन सारे एल्गोरिथम्स के लिए एक डेटा साइंटिस्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबल है. जो डेटा, क्योंकि आप जो आपका जो फूड एग्रीगेटर प्लेटफॉर्म है, अगर जो आप उसमें लेते हैं तो वो पता है कि आपने अगर जो पिछले 5 बार आपने एक पर्टिकुलर फूड आइटम मंगवाया है तो साथ साथ आपने उसके साथ एक दूसरा आइटम भी मंगवाया है, तो अब वो आपको एक उसमें डिस्काउंट ऑफ़र कर सकता है कि क्या आप ये लेंगे तो आपको ये भी मिलेगा, साथ में आपको छूट भी मिलेगी. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट हाउ कंपनीज यूटिलाइज डेटा साइंस. और साथ ही साथ गवर्नमेंट्स ऑल्सो यूटिलाइज डेटा साइंस. आपका जो ट्रैफिक है, सो अगर जो आप ट्रैफिक देखते हैं तो ट्रैफिक इज़ ऑल्सो अ डेटा साइंस प्रॉब्लम. अब सरकार बहुत इंटरेस्टेड है हाउ टू सॉल्व ट्रैफिक यूजिंग डेटा साइंस. आप देखेंगे जो आपका सपोज 4:30 से 5:30 6 के बीच समय होता है, उसमें आपका जो जाम लग जाता है. सो हाउ कैन यू डिटरमाइन कि इतने बजे डिफरेंट कंपनीज जो भी उस रास्ते पर पड़ती हैं अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को छुट्टी दें ताकि वो जो आपका रोड है वो कंजेशन फ्री रहे, क्योंकि आपको उसके लिए डेटा की आवश्यकता पड़ेगी. आपको ट्रैफिक पैटर्न्स एनालाइज करने हैं, आपको साथ ही साथ ह्यूमन बिहेवियर भी नोटिस करना है, क्योंकि ह्यूमन बिहेवियर एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है जो आपके एनालिसिस में अफेक्ट करता है. सो ये सारी जो भी चीज़ें हैं, चाहे वो बिज़नेस एक्यूमेंट, चाहे बिज़नेस प्रॉब्लम्स हों, चाहे सोशल प्रॉब्लम्स हों, जहाँ भी डेटा जनरेट होता है, एंड इफ़ यू वांट टू सॉल्व दीज प्रॉब्लम्स, द रोल ऑफ अ डेटा साइंटिस्ट अराइजेस. सो डेटा साइंटिस्ट एसेंशियली अ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्वर.
आकाश में तारों को गिना नहीं जा सकता, लेकिन धरती पर व्यक्ति, वस्तु, आंकड़ों को गिना जा सकता है और उसके माध्यम से जो है बड़ी बड़ी समस्याओं का निदान निकाला जा सकता है और एक सहूलियत आपको प्रदान की जा सकती है. नाउ इन द प्रीवियस सेशन वी डिस्कस्ड अबाउट हाउ फिजिक्स, मैथमेटिक्स और स्टैटिस्टिक्स आर इम्पोर्टेंट. एट व्हाट लेवल वन नीड टू हैव familiarity with these subjects, though you have explained that one needs to know a little bit of the programming, the algebra portion. But if I am a student of mathematics, yes, but if I am not very much interested in physics और मेरा physics कमज़ोर रहा हो, ऐसी स्थिति में, या फिर physics अच्छा रहा हो, mathematics कमज़ोर रहा हो, मुझे किन किन एरियाज़ पर काम करना होगा? once again through you we need to know.
So अगर जो आप डेटा साइंस में डोमेन नॉलेज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल आप बायोलॉजी से आप डेटा साइंटिस्ट बनना चाहते हैं, सो चूज़ अ डोमेन विच इज़ बायोलॉजिकली इंक्लाइंड. सो जो आपके सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स हैं, सो इट्स बायोलॉजी प्लस इन्फॉर्मेटिक्स, सो इट्स ऑल्सो समवट रिलेटेड टू डेटा साइंस, राइट. अगर जो आपको मैथ्स इतनी अच्छी नहीं आती है, सो डोंट चूज़ अ डोमेन विच इज़ हेविली रिसर्च फोकस्ड, राइट. सो जो डेटा साइंटिस्ट का जॉब है, इट ऑल्सो लाइज ऑन अ स्पेक्ट्रम. ऐसा नहीं है कि डेटा साइंटिस्ट का एक ही काम है और वह सारे डेटा साइंटिस्ट एक ही काम करते हैं. कुछ डेटा साइंटिस्ट एल्गोरिथम्स के प्रिपरेशन में इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, कुछ डेटा साइंटिस्ट उन एल्गोरिथम्स को मार्केट में ले जाके आम जनमानस के बीच ले जाने के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल होते हैं. सो एक पूरा स्पेक्ट्रम है जहाँ एक डेटा साइंटिस्ट अपने मनपसंद का डोमेन चूज़ कर सकता है. आप उस डोमेन को चूज़ कीजिए जो आपको भाता है. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ़ यू आर फ्रॉम इकोनॉमिक्स, राइट, आप एक फिनटेक प्लेटफॉर्म में डेटा साइंस के लिए जॉब अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज यू अंडरस्टैंड फाइनेंस. आप एक क्वांटिटेटिव इकोनॉमिस्ट वाली पोजीशन भी चूज़ कर सकते हैं. सो देर आर डिफरेंट डोमेन्स एंड डिफरेंट स्पेक्ट्रम्स एट विच दिस position of a data scientist falls. So choose data scientist. Data science gives us that opportunity to choose a domain of our liking and do according to that.
When I talk about a particular career, I always think about what would be my salary package, how much I am going to earn, what incentives I am going to get, career progression कैसा रहेगा, salary progression कैसा रहेगा. These points appears to my mind when I opt a particular career. So for a data scientist, what are the limitations, or I would say what are the advantages in this particular area?
बहुत ही अच्छा सवाल कीतेगा जी, क्योंकि ये एक बिजनेस कॉर्पोरेट जॉब है. तो असेंशियली एट द एंड ऑफ द डे व्हाट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड इज़ अ नंबर ऑन योर स्किल्स, राइट, अ मॉनेटरी कंपनसेशन फॉर योर स्किल्स. सो डेटा साइंस की जो कंपनसेशन है, जो सैलरी प्रोग्रेशन है, इट इज़ नॉट स्टैटिक, राइट. सो इट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन अ लॉट ऑफ फैक्टर्स कि आपको आपके स्किल्स कितने अच्छे हैं, आपने किस इंस्टीट्यूट से पढ़ाई करी है, आपको कितने साल का एक्सपीरियंस है, आपको डोमेन नॉलेज कितना अच्छा है, आपके सॉफ्ट स्किल्स कितने अच्छे हैं. However, I can still put a number on all these things. So on an average, if you're a fresher, you can expect around 8 to 10 lakhs progression if you're for an average guy coming to a data science field. So this is for someone जिसको एक ज़ीरो से लेके 2 साल का experience है. As you progress in your field, you learn more about business acumen, you get more proficient in your domain, and you get to a mid senior level, right? So if you have like 3 or 7 years experience, you can expect a salary of, let's say, 12 to 22 to 25 lakhs. Now as you progress in your domain, आपको 8 साल से ज़्यादा का experience है, you can expect a salary more than, let's say, 30 to 40 lakhs, right? And as if you have some skills which are not available to anyone else in the market. For example, आप कोई algorithm आपने develop किया है जिसका license आपके पास है और किसी के पास नहीं है, and that algorithm is very useful for a certain company. Sky is the limit. सो आप उसमें पैसे की चिंता मत कीजिए, आप ये देखिए कि आप अपने स्किल्स को कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं. सो वंस यू विल हैव दैट राइट स्किल्स, मनी विल स्टार्ट फ्लोइंग टू यू.
Very true, the money will start flowing, but before that one needs to work persistently and laboriously, should be inclined in whatever he or she is doing. If we talk about Indian companies, how data science is being used and how many companies are basically using data science?
Right, so our Indian MNCs, like we have talked once, Indian MNCs run the data science or the AI of the world. So our MNCs, they do a lot of cross-industry projects. They're everywhere. So even our income tax software is developed by an Indian MNC. So they are in manufacturing, they're in banking, they're in healthcare. और हमारा देश में जितनी विविधताएं हैं, तो उसमें जो अलग अलग प्रकार का डेटा उसकी वजह से बनता है, तो जो हमारी इंडियन कंपनीज, दे आर वेरी गुड एट सॉल्विंग प्रॉब्लम्स विच कवर अ वेरी ह्यूज बेस, राइट. सो हमारे जो ई कॉमर्स, होम ग्रोन ई कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म है, अगर जो आप उनके रिकमेंडेशन इंजन्स देखेंगे, रिकमेंडेशन इंजन्स क्या होते हैं कि आपको नेक्स्ट चीज़ कोई लेनी है वो आपको रिकमेंड करते हैं. या डिमांड प्रेडिक्शन है, एक पर्टिकुलर फेस्टिवल आ रहा है तो कौन सी चीज़ का आपको ज़्यादा स्टॉक रखना है कि क्योंकि लोग उसकी डिमांड करते हैं, या फिर एक चीज़ की वैल्यू कितनी होनी चाहिए. दीज आर कॉल्ड प्राइसिंग एल्गोरिथम्स. जो हमारी MNCs हैं, हमारे जो इंडियन स्टार्टअप्स हैं, दे आर वेरी गुड एट दीज. और आप देखेंगे कि जो हमारे बाकी MNCs हैं, दे एक्सपोर्ट दिस ब्रेन टू अदर countries. So if you would see a lot of professionals in other countries, you would always find a Indian among those. If you would read a research paper on data science, I would say 6 out of 10 times you would find an Indian name in that research paper. So Indian brain is everywhere in data science. So we again have a very strong foothold in data science platform.
Now the question arises, what are the remote working opportunities? Can one be an independent person who can serve to the various platforms?
जी, remote work is available, and it's plenty of remote work is available to data scientists, right? But again, the thing is how good you are with your skills. So for a person just starting with in the data science platform, I would suggest you would start with an office job, right? Do not jump to a remote work opportunity, since everything in data science is online, right? So your model, your system is your office. But again, the soft skills which you develop while working in an office are much more required डाउन योर करियर. सो वंस यू आर प्रोफिशिएंट, एक बार आपको ये समझ आ जाता है कि एक पर्टिकुलर डोमेन डेटा साइंस में कैसे काम करता है, आपको उसकी नॉलेज है, देन यू कैन मूव टू global platforms, right? So you can apply to global platforms like Turing or TopTel, etc., which connect you with US European clients, right? And then you can start providing consulting or freelancing to those platforms. But essentially, for people who are transitioning to data science or are starting in their careers, I would suggest, again, I'm repeating this thing, I would suggest to focus on your skills first, because once the programming languages or what the business wants might change, but the skills remain the same. For example, chatbots जो हैं वो आज का invention नहीं है. The first chatbot was developed in 1967 in MIT. It was named Eliza. So जो हमारे chatbots हैं, जो हमारी stats की knowledge हैं, that is very वो काफ़ी स्थिर हो चुकी है, and we need to be very good at that before we move on to find out something which is more in trend, right? So trend may vanish, but those tools or the skills would always remain.
Now, what are the different sectors, different areas where data science can be used? What are the different projects which are still needed to be taken care of, and we can grow in that particular areas?
Right. So again, with a POV of a person starting with data science, right? So what I have found that a lot of participants try to do something which has already been done. So there is no use in solving a problem which has already been solved. So if I put it in layman terms, do not copy code from a different repository and pass it as your own, right? That would not help you. In Indian context, we have so many problems which are very easy to solve and which are very unique to solve. For example, let me take an example of agriculture. I would suggest, if someone starting in data science, can that person create an data science pipeline which can take a photo of that, of a leaf or a particular in an agricultural field, find out if that leaf is affected by, let's say, a pest, and if that pest can be cured by a certain insecticide or a pesticide. Now this problem, while it may seem not useful, India is an agrarian country. A particular simple model would be adopted by thousands, I would say lakhs of farmers, and it would have a real impact on that. Instead of doing something which instead of solving the Titanic problem again, do something which is useful for the Indian public. Try to build something which would help your local market, right? For example, in healthcare, can our viewers develop a algorithm or a model which can ingest the records of a patient and try to predict what particular diseases or the diagnosis of those diseases, right? Or if we can even talk about fintech, right? So can we work on something which can work on your credit scoring models, right? So if I have the data on spending, अगर जो मुझे पता है कि आज मैंने इतना spend किया, इस महीने इतना spend किया है, और मेरी आगे आने वाली ये वाली necessities हैं, so how can I create a model which would budget my income for me, right? So these are some problems which are solvable. They are pretty easy, right? But they require a different kind of mentality to solve, right? So it's easy to pick up something which has been solved and just do an incremental work in that, but the recruiters or someone who is hiring wants to see how proficient are you with the entire pipeline. So again, it's useful if you know something, the back and forth of everything of a single tool you use, instead of, I would say, using different resources and just touching the tip of just wetting your feet, right? So we have different data sources. We have our government provides your data platform from data.gov.in. We have agricultural databases from ICAR. We have multiple databases at Kaggle, right? So think about how you can take those data sets and how you can deploy a model, right? So how would a Rajasthani farmer can use your crop prediction app, or how can you solve a portfolio strategy? It might be a bit difficult for the starters, but how you can make a portfolio for a Indian household, right, which has, let's say, 2 parents and 2 kids. Is there an optimal portfolio for that, or optimal budget creating mechanism for those? So try to solve such problems which have a unique and which have an impact on the society, right? So do not think of what the business or the trending thing is, rather try to showcase your skills.
We always say internships are always for good because they give you deep insight into what you're landing into, and it gives you a clear picture. You are able to identify what actually we are going to do in the future or what could be done. So when we talk about data science, data scientist, how internships during the college days helps the students?
So internships are pretty useful, right? So my suggestion is to start early as possible, right? So in your second year, like let's assume you're in a BTech undergrad program and you have 4 years. I would suggest for the second year start for virtual internships, right? Try to cold email startups or not MNCs might not recruit you, but try to give a cold call to someone who is a program manager there and try to find out what can you assess them, right? Or you can work on open source projects, right? So even if it's a simple thing like adding documentation to a open source project, like it would make you would read that code, you would understand how that code is formatted, right? So and that would enhance your understanding of data science. Again, now as you move to your third years or fourth years, try to find out more structured internships, right? For example, you have Google Summer of Code, Amazon provides you internship, even Infosys provides you internships, right? So try to learn as much as you can in your second, third year, and try to apply in your third and fourth years. Try to apply for a pre-placement offers, right? So the trick is to create as many projects. Again, we discussed what kind of projects you need to create projects which have a impact on the society, right? Do not go away with just trending with the flow, right? Create projects which have a real use case and start showcasing those. So visibility along with those projects is required for you to convert your education to a job.
Because the objective is to discover the better you and develop the better you,
Right,
and
yes.
the more you will work, the more you will be able to identify at what level you need to work further.
Right.
Now, I wish to know from you what is this Kegel programming and competitive programming and how it is being used in data science.
Right, definitely. So a lot of computer science is based on the data structures and algorithms. However, data science requires kind of a different kind of thinking, with domain knowledge along with that business understanding of that problem is very essential. So Kaggle is a platform which provides you compute resources, right? So you need CPUs and GPUs to run your programs, right? Because they need a lot of memory and hard disk requirements. So Kaggle is a free, open for all requirement, and it allows you to build projects on your on your problems, right? It provides you those. It also provides you competitive programming experiences because it has like $1 million prizes for certain problem it showcases. And the trivia is the data science platform really got a kick in 2007 when Netflix announced a $1 million prize for a recommendation engine. So anyone who could improve their movie recommendation engine by 10%, he would get a 10%. He would get a $1 million US dollar prize. So that was done on Kaggle. So these things are very important. So you need to do Kaggle a lot. So that would help with your data science platform. But I would not suggest you to stop it there. Your data structure and algorithms also an important part of your entire IT part. So you need to understand how to take these things and integrate with other deployment platforms, right? So you have your Indian alternatives, you have like Blocks Analytics Vidya, you have Geeks for Geeks. You can also learn through these blogs and how to start with data science.
We always motivate the freshers, the students, keep networking. Do you really feel so that networking helps, and including it, because if you are a good communicator, if you have good English, it really helps you networking too, as well as if you really wanted to be in the area of data science, you can make your way.
Gee, definitely. So the most important part, and it's not for only a data science job, rather for any corporate job, is visibility. How much visible you are to a recruiter, how much visible are you to someone who needs to solve that problem, right? So visibility is very important. Again, we're talking about how do you become visible. Now, मोस्ट ऑफ द वर्क इज़ डन इन इंग्लिश इन डेटा साइंस, बिकॉज आपके जो भी क्लाइंट्स होंगे मोस्टली दे वुड बी फ्रॉम यूएस यूरोपियन बैकग्राउंड्स, राइट. एंड इट्स असेंशियल यू हैव दैट इंग्लिश नॉलेज, आपको आनी चाहिए कि आप इंग्लिश में अच्छे से बात कर सकें, आप अपने एल्गोरिथम्स का जो भी रिजल्ट्स आता है आप उसको एक नॉन टेक लेमैन पर्सन को समझा सकें, तो इंग्लिश आना भी बहुत ज़रूरी है. अब सवाल उठता है कि आप विजिबिलिटी कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं. सो द फर्स्ट थिंग इज़ आप जो भी काम करते हैं आप उसको कहीं पे पब्लिश कीजिए. फॉर एग्जांपल इफ़ यू राइट एन एल्गोरिथम, राइट, सो publish it on your LinkedIn group. For example, I did this task today and this is the link to my notebook. And जो भी उसमें जो भी interested person होगा, they would find you. There are a lot of local meetups, so data science networks है. So there is a website called meetup.com and you can find like Pi Delhi is a community of people who work in Python and reside in Delhi. You can find such on communities, you can find these are offline, but also you can find online communities, right? So there are various groups on different social media platforms where you can talk with persons, where you can exchange ideas and see how they are learning. And a lot of people also publish their own blogs on their websites, and I think that's also very useful to read them, because that's as the English idiom is, it's from the horse's mouth. So you would really see how a developer is developing those platforms, and it's you would interact with them, ask them, mail them, how can I improve them. So no need to be hesitant. If you are genuine enough and you are really working on it, everyone would be eager to help you.
Now, Digital India is one of the commendable initiative by the government of India. Do you feel so that it can generate more opportunity for data scientists in India?
Definitely. So our government is highly investing in Digital India platform, right? So we have Digital India, we have government jobs like NHAI, MORD, RBI, which publish advertisements for data scientists, right? So we have a data platform, we have Niti Aayog has our blueprint for how the AI policy should be. We have AI skill development platform. So government has also planned to invest thousands of crores in quantum computing, which would again overlap with our data science jobs. So under the government, there are multiple opportunities for not only for people who are transitioning into a data science role, but also people who are entrepreneurs, right? So we have seed fund. Government provides you seed funds if you are doing something using technology and AI for the Indian good, right? So government provides you seed funds for your entrepreneurship, for your startup, right? So there is a Yuva AI program, there is BharatNet plus Digital India. Again, as I mentioned, government jobs as a data scientist provide you again of stability plus your competitive packages. So the government is well aware of the changes happening in our markets and how the education as well as the business part of our the thing is IT technology is changing and they're adapting to it. The only thing for us is to stay connected and keep on looking at how the news or blogs or things which can keep us updated.
Now, what is your piece of advice to the students who are in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities?
जी, सबसे पहले Tier 2, Tier 3 सिटीज़ के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए ये है कि अब आपके पास कोई रुकावट नहीं है. इंटरनेट हर भारत के शहर में है. GBPS इंटरनेट आपको अवेलेबल है. आपको सारी बुक्स आप डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. आपके पास सारे रिसोर्सेज हैं. आपको बस स्किल्स डेवलप करने की आवश्यकता है. आप स्किल्स डेवलप करने के लिए हमने यही बात करी कि आपको स्किल्स कैसे डेवलप करने हैं. आपको विजिबिलिटी बढ़ानी है, आपको गिटहब में प्रोजेक्ट्स बढ़ाने हैं, आपको विजिबल रहना है. और एक ये भी अच्छी बात है कि जो हमारे स्टार्टअप्स हैं, अराउंड 45% ऑफ स्टार्टअप्स आर इमर्जिंग फ्रॉम Tier 2, Tier 3 सिटीज़, राइट. सो हमारे जिनको हम छोटे शहर कहते हैं, नासिक, मोहाली, अब ये छोटे शहर रहे नहीं हैं. आप अगर जो आपके पास स्किल है, आपके पास एक सिंपल सा लैपटॉप है, यू कैन reach out to major global players, right? So you do not have to worry about your geographical limitations. You do not worry about in which zip code you are standing. Everything is free. स्वयं का कोर्स आप देख सकते हैं, आप कोर्सेरा देख सकते हैं, आप और ये भी मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि जो गॉडफादर ऑफ AI हैं, जेफरी हिंटन, वो एक कंप्यूटर साइंटिस्ट सिर्फ ना होते हुए एक साथ साथ साइकोलॉजिस्ट भी हैं. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आप सिर्फ अगर जो आप साइकोलॉजी पढ़ रहे हैं, आप टियर 2 टियर 3 सिटीज़ हैं, आप सोचें कि मैं इसमें एंट्री नहीं कर सकता हूँ, आई कैन नॉट गेट अ गुड जॉब. द ओनली थिंग विच यू नीड इज़ अ माइंड शिफ्ट एंड अ बिट ऑफ लर्निंग. So build up in your technical knowledge, build up your business acumen, build up your domain knowledge, brush up your Kaggle skills, brush up your research skills, and that job will be in like, you'll take few months to get that job.
Now, being a data scientist, what would you like to advise to the youth? How would you like to motivate them? Being a data scientist is one who has lots and lots of information, lots of data. Now, knowing the world around you is very important, because collection of data is not suffice. It is not sufficient. You need to work beyond that. So, what is the motivation?
So, the first of all, the motivation should be to solve a problem which is close to your heart, right? So, if you would, for example, a global e-commerce platform which also works in India started because the person could not find a particular book, right? So it's an Indian startup. The person could not find a book, and he tried thinking about how he can solve this supply chain optimization problem. How can I take book from a retailer and get it in the hands of a person, right? So that problem made that person to create a billion-dollar startup which every one of us Indian uses, right? So first of all, you have to think about your problem, and the second thing you have to think about is skills. You cannot be lazy on your skills. You will have to develop your skills. So data science is one such area where you cannot sit idle, because it grows at an exponential pace. Every few days there would be a new algorithm, there would be a new methodology, there would be a new way to solve things. You have to adapt to the coming times, right? You have to know how do you read research papers, how do you get that knowledge to transform non technical things to technical knowledges, and how to bring that to the local population, right? So if you have that business part related to that, how do you create money out of that? So you have that global leadership with you. NASSCOM says India ranks number 1 in AI skill penetration. You have a diverse number of problems, you have diverse number of people who can help you, and also the timing is perfect, right? So the AI is in your boom. Be confident in your skills, develop your skills, and the world will be in your hands.
No, I would say that Earth is rotating at its axis, but at a faster rate, because the world is moving very fast. Right. And in order to keep pace with that fast moving, we need to gear up, and Definitely. We need to make use of the resources, as well as we need to learn more. We need to unlearn what wrong we have learned, and by learning new, of course, we can make a difference within our country. We can make a difference in the world around us. Definitely. Thank you, Dr. Vishwas Kukreti, for giving us this wonderful session, and I believe that the knowledge which you have given through this session of ours would make difference in the lives of the students who are thinking what career path would be beneficial for them. And if you are really looking forward to make career in the area of data science, if you have any questions, any feedback, do write to us at cecgurukul.live@gmail.com. We are going to meet again next Thursday and would be discussing on another career related to you, where you want to make a mark. So keep watching us, keep writing us. Thank you so much.